A story that's over 1,000 years old. Actually, it's the oldest surviving piece of prose fiction from Japan. And it sounds weirdly like science fiction. You've got this mysterious being from the moon landing on Earth.
Right, inside a glowing bamboo stalk, no less.
Exactly, a glowing vessel. And then she leaves again on some kind of celestial craft. It's pretty wild for something written so long ago.
It really is. We're talking about Taketori Monogatari today, the tale of the bamboo cutter. And the star is Kaguya-hime, the shining princess of the young bamboo.
It's not just old, it's foundational, like the very beginning of the Monogatari, the Japanese narrative form, late 9th, maybe early 10th century. The author is unknown.
Completely unknown, but its impact was huge even back then. Murasaki Shikibu, who wrote the tale of Genji about a century later, she called this story the ancestor of all tales. High praise.
Wow. Okay. So for you listening, our mission today is to dig into why. Why does this ancient story still resonate? We're going beyond just the fairy tale elements.
Yeah. We'll look at the social satire in there, the philosophy, and how it connects to, believe it or not, modern space missions and even Studio Ghibli.
All right, let's start with the story itself, the core narrative. It kicks off pretty humbly, doesn't it? With this old bamboo cutter, Taketori no Okina.
That's him. He's poor. He and his wife are childless. He's just out working in the bamboo grove one day.
And finds something unusual.
Very unusual. A single stalk of bamboo is glowing, just radiating this soft light. So he cuts it open.
And inside?
A tiny baby.
Yeah.
Thumb-sized. He takes her home, thinking she's a divine gift. They name her Kaguya-hime.
And things change for them pretty fast after that, right? This isn't just about finding a child.
Oh, instantly. Their poverty vanishes. The old man starts finding gold nuggets and gems inside other bamboo stalks he cuts, like magically appearing.
Okay, so instant wealth, they move to the capital, get a mansion, the whole deal.
Exactly. And Kaguya-hime herself, her growth is just as miraculous, or maybe unnatural is a better word. She goes from that tiny infant to a young woman, an incredibly beautiful young woman, in just 3 months.
3 months, okay. That's definitely not normal. It's like the story's immediately signaling she's different, otherworldly.
Precisely. And that unearthly beauty, of course, attracts a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Particularly from the top tier of society, 5 nobles.
High-ranking suitors, princes even, like Prince Ishitsukuri, Prince Kuramochi. They all want to marry her.
They do. But Kaguya-hime isn't interested in marrying any of them. She seems to see their interest as purely, possessive.
So she comes up with a plan.
A brilliant one, actually. It's where the story really leans into satire. She tells each suitor she'll marry him if he can bring her a specific legendary treasure. Impossible tasks.
And these aren't just rare jewels. These are mythical artifacts, right? Like something out of a fantasy quest.
Totally. The Buddhist stone begging bowl from India. A jeweled branch from Hutrai, the mythical island of eternal youth.
Yeah.
The robe of the fire rat from China, supposed to be fireproof. A colored jewel from a dragon's neck.
Yeah.
And a cowrie shell born from a swallow.
Okay, so basically impossible items. What happens? Do they even try?
They try, but this is where the satire really bites. They all fail, and usually dishonorably. They try to cheat, bribe craftsmen to make fakes, or just plain lie.
So it exposes them.
Completely. It shows the supposed elite are driven by greed, vanity, and deceit. Like the guy who commissions a fake jeweled branch, Kaguya spots it immediately.
Ouch. What does she do?
Writes him this poem, just cutting him down for his deception. He's so ashamed he just runs away.
So the failure isn't just about the objects being rare, it's symbolic.
Exactly. These treasures represent things like spiritual authority or paradise or cosmic power, things you can't get through money or tricks. The suitor's failure proves they lack any real substance. They only understand earthly power and wealth.
Okay, so the nobles are out, but then the emperor himself hears about her.
Yes, and this is interesting because the story treats him differently. Unlike the suitors, he seems genuinely sincere. He approaches her with respect. He's struck by her beauty, yes, but there's no arrogance.
Does she agree to marry him?
No. She still refuses, telling him plainly, "I am not of this world." But she does respect his sincerity. They actually develop a kind of, affectionate correspondence. They exchange poems for 3 years.
A connection, but not marriage. But her time is running out, isn't it? Something starts happening.
Yeah. She starts crying whenever she sees the full moon, just uncontrollably sobbing. Why? She finally reveals the truth to her adoptive parents. She's from Tsukino Miyako, the capital of the moon. She was sent to Earth, maybe as a punishment, maybe for safety. The story a bit vague there. But now Her people are coming back for her.
Oh, wow. So her departure is planned. What happens when the moon people arrive? The emperor tries to stop it.
He does. He sends 2,000 soldiers to surround her house. A huge display of earthly force.
Does it work?
Not even slightly. When the celestial entourage descends from the sky, this overwhelming strange light just paralyzes everyone. The guards are powerless, blinded.
And Kaguya.
In that final moment, one of the celestial beings drapes the hagurome of the feather robe over her shoulders.
The feather robe? What does it do?
Instantly, all her memories of Earth vanish. Her love for her parents, her affection for the Emperor, all the sadness of leaving, just gone, erased.
Whoa.
She just descends back to the moon, completely serene, detached. Her earthly experience wiped clean.
That's quite an ending. Heartbreaking, really.
It is, and it's all set against this very specific backdrop, the Heian period in Japan, late 8th to 12th century.
Right, the Golden Age, known for being incredibly hierarchical and really focused on aesthetics, on yabi.
Extremely focused. And Kaguya, as this outsider, is forced into that world when she moves to the capital. She has to wear the Junihido.
The 12-layered robe must have been incredibly heavy.
Unbelievably so. And adopt the court fashions, blackening her teeth, oh Haguro, maintaining impossibly long black hair. These were the beauty standards.
But for her, they felt like a cage.
Exactly. The story implies these rigid rules were suffocating. It's a subtle critique of forcing conformity onto someone, especially someone so fundamentally different. The Ghibli film really plays this up, showing how those aesthetic demands crushed her spirit.
And the story itself was kind of revolutionary for its time, too, wasn't it? Written in Japanese script.
Yes, using kana, the phonetic script. This is a big deal because official court documents were often in Chinese. Kana was often used by court women who really pioneered this whole monogatari genre.
Okay, so we have the satire, the otherworldly elements, but then there's this final piece, the Mount Fuji connection.
Yes. The epilogue. This is so important for understanding the tale's cultural weight.
The emperor is devastated after she leaves.
Utterly heartbroken. And she left him a gift, an elixir of immortality. Fushi no Kusori.
The elixir of life, but he doesn't want it.
He refuses it. He basically says, what's the point of living forever if I can never see her again? It's incredibly poignant.
So what does he do with it?
He orders his men to take the elixir, along with his final poem to her, to the highest mountain peak in the land in Suruga province and burn them both.
On the summit.
On the very summit. And the legend, as told in the Monogatari, is that because this elixir, Fushi no Kusuri, was burned there, the mountain became known as Fuji-san, Mount Fuji. Fushi meaning immortality.
Wow. So the story creates a founding myth for Mount Fuji itself.
Exactly. It claims the smoke that used to rise from the volcano wasn't volcanic activity. It was the smoke from the emperor's burning elixir and his undying love, constantly ascending towards the heavens, towards the moon.
That transforms it from just a sad story into something much bigger, a national myth.
Precisely. It roots the cosmic loss in the very landscape of Japan.
Let's dig a bit deeper into the themes then. What's the core conflict for Kaguya? Why is she so torn?
At its heart, it's this clash between earthly attachment, Aiju, the genuine love she develops for her adoptive parents, and even the emperor.
Right, real human feelings.
And her celestial duty, her giri, her inherent nature and obligation as a being from the moon. She's caught between these two worlds, these two ways of being.
And that feeling of loss, of beauty being temporary, that taps into a key Japanese idea, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a perfect example of monoware, that sort of gentle sadness, the pathos you feel when you recognize that everything beautiful is fleeting. Kaguya's radiance, the old couple's joy, it's also powerful because we know it can't last.
And the most striking philosophical point maybe is that rejection of immortality by the emperor.
Absolutely. Think about it, most myths are about heroes seeking eternal life. Here, the hero is offered it, and he turns it down. Because
a finite life with love, even with the pain of loss, is better than an empty eternity.
That seems to be the message. His poem says it all. Never more to see her. Tears of grief overwhelm me. With the elixir of life, what have I to do? It suggests meaning comes from connection, not just duration.
Which feels surprisingly modern for a story this old.
It's quite profound. And even those treasures the suitors failed to get, they weren't just random expensive things. They symbolized deeper values.
Like spiritual authority with the Buddha's bowl or paradise with the Hurai branch?
Right. things that can't be bought or faked. Their failure reinforces that true worth isn't material.
So fast forward 1,000 years. How does this ancient tale still live on today?
Well, first off, it's a cultural staple in Japan. It's often the very first piece of classical literature kids encounter in school. So everyone knows Kaguya-hime.
It's part of the shared cultural DNA.
Absolutely. And then you get these amazing echoes in modern science. Remember the 2007 JXA lunar orbiter mission, Selene?
Vaguely.
The Japanese public nicknamed it Kaguya?
No way. So the moon princess symbolically returning home.
Exactly. Aboard this high-tech spacecraft, it's such a beautiful link between ancient myth and modern exploration.
And pop culture hasn't forgotten her either, obviously. Studio Ghibli's film.
The Tale of the Princess Kaguya from 2013. Stunning film. Academy Award nominated. And it really dug into her emotional experience, expanding on that critique of the restrictive society she faced.
Use that incredible art style, too.
Oh, that hand-drawn watercolor look was perfect for conveying her feelings. But her influence goes way beyond that one film.
Where else do we see her?
Well, think about Sailor Moon. The whole idea of an ancient moon kingdom owes a clear debt to Takatori Monogatari.
Right, the Silver Millennium. Makes sense.
And then in Narco, the ultimate big bad, the progenitor of all chakra, is named Kaguya Sutsuki. She's explicitly this celestial moon-connected being.
They just took the name and the core idea.
Pretty directly. And video games, too. She shows up in the Persona series as a powerful persona, often associated with light. And in the game Chugi, which is steeped in Japanese mythology, the player actually helps Kaguya build a bamboo rocket ship to get back to the celestial plane.
Huh. A bamboo rocket. That's fantastic. So her story is just woven into so many different modern narratives.
It really is. It's kind of amazing when you step back and see how much comes from this one text. The start of Japanese prose fiction. A sharp social critique. A foundational myth for Fuji. This timeless symbol of love, loss, duty.
It really does earn that title, Ancestor of All Tales.
I think so.
And it all comes down to that final bittersweet moment with the Hagoromo, the feather robe. It sends her home, but at the cost of her humanity, her memories.
Yeah, that erasure is key. Which leaves us and you, the listener, with something to think about.
What's that?
Well, how do we read that ending? Is Kaguya losing her memories and her earthly love a tragedy? Is she losing what made her, in a sense, human?
Or is there another way to see it?
Or, from the moon's perspective, is this the ultimate good? Is she being restored to her true, pure, untroubled celestial self, freed from messy human emotions? Which kind of existence holds more value? The mortal one full of love and pain, or the eternal one serene but detached?
That's a really interesting question to leave people with. A lot to chew on from a 1,000-year-old story.